From invisible winds to surging waters and tremors beneath the ground. Every moment today is a reminder that nature always operates in its own way. This must be a pretty clear reminder from Mother Nature that when the winds begin to grow stronger, staying indoors is sometimes the most necessary choice of all. On the vast stage of Earth, nature always remains the main character, while humans sometimes seem like tiny guests standing by and watching. Oh my God, just about 1 inch farther off, and this moment could have ended in a completely different way. Strong winds do not just push against the house. Pressure differences can create enough uplift to peel the entire roof off the structure in just a few seconds. A new journey begins once again, but this time nature will be the guide. The only question is, are you ready to explore? A roof is meant to be the shield that protects people from the weather, but this time it became the first thing to give way before the power of nature. Standing before the power of nature is also when human-made structures enter their toughest test of durability and load-bearing capacity. At this time, what type of natural disaster does the area where you live in the U.S. face most often? Storm winds can turn an ordinary trash can into an object carried away by the wind, so securing outdoor items is always very necessary. Standing before the absolute power of nature, humans truly realize just how small they are. Mother Nature probably just wanted to stop by for a meal, but unfortunately, before leaving, she left the owner with a rather expensive repair bill. If nature were an interior designer, her favorite style would surely be moving everything around without asking permission. An item blown away by the wind is not worth trading your safety for. Sometimes the best decision is simply knowing when to leave. An object that seems harmless can become an uncontrollable flying object in strong winds, making a safe distance even more important. Could this be the Earth's way of reminding us that changes in the climate are no longer such a distant story? A major landslide can move millions of tons of earth and rock at once. When an entire mountainside begins to move, maintaining a safe distance becomes the deciding factor. Lady Luck seems to have pulled the girl off the list of people who were about to have a much worse day just in time. That meal had an uninvited guest, and just a few seconds later, the dining table suddenly became the starting line of a race. Mother Nature seems to have returned to reclaim her old land, and the floodwaters are her way of redrawing the boundaries that humans once tried to change. The luckiest thing of all is that after the incident, the driver was still safe. Have you ever witnessed winds this strong with your own eyes? I have always believed that keeping doors tightly closed is necessary when strong winds arrive because even a single opening can make the situation harder to control. It seems Mother Nature misunderstood and thought the guy needed some help, and just a few seconds later, everything was cleared away faster than expected. When you see heavy objects beginning to be moved by the wind, that is a sign to find shelter instead of judging the wind strength with your eyes. Even a small object accelerated by the wind can break glass, so a window is not a suitable place to watch a windstorm. In extreme weather, sometimes the danger is not the wind itself, but what the wind can lift and carry with it. Oh my God, never let a few seconds of curiosity become the reason you have to trade away your own safety. Do not wait until the structure speaks up through an incident. Regular inspections are always cheaper and safer than repairing the consequences. If luck also had a limit, this young man surely just used up nearly all of his share in the few seconds that just passed. I wonder what device you are using to enjoy these lucky moments. A phone, a computer, or a really big TV screen. If this man does not relearn the rules for crossing the road, I am afraid Lady Luck will not smile on him one more time. Does this image remind you of any unforgettable memory in your life? This reckless overtaking maneuver makes you wonder whether the driver forgot that traffic laws are written to protect everyone on the road. Speed has never been a reliable friend on any journey, because just one unexpected situation can make everything change. From the center of a thunderstorm, lightning can reach 10-15 miles beyond the rainy area, so a bright sky overhead does not mean you are outside the danger zone. You do not need to stand directly beneath the center of a thunderstorm to be in danger. If you can still hear thunder, your area is still within the range where caution is needed. Earthquakes do not give warning about when they will arrive, and the images from Venezuela show why preparation always plays an important role. When the ground switches into shake mode, that is when you realize that a few minutes spent learning response skills beforehand can be worth much more. If Mother Nature had her own cleaning crew, the winds would certainly be the most productive employees, but also the hardest to control. Without any machinery, nature carries out a massive cleanup all by itself. Unfortunately, its way of clearing the path is more forceful than anyone would expect. After what just happened, the biggest question is probably who is responsible and whether this incident could have been prevented beforehand. This is not simply floodwater. A mixture of mud rocks and debris can rush down a valley at speeds of more than 35 meters per turning gravity into a massive transporting force. When heavy rain occurs near canyons or ravines, leaving the area early is always better than waiting until you see the water beginning to rush down. The images from Nuristan remind us that when heavy rain occurs on steep terrain, staying away from mountainsides and flowing water is an especially important principle. The hill seems to have just set itself a goal of losing weight quickly, but unfortunately no one below was informed about this plan. Nature is always quietly reshaping its own terrain, and landslides are a powerful part of that process. Do not treat the rules for crossing the road as reference material, because they can help you avoid completely unnecessary incidents. If you can still spot the dog in this sea of sheep, congratulations. Your eyes have just passed a very difficult observation test.
Too protective.
It seems Heron Island is holding a special race today, where every contestant shares the same destination, the ocean. A safe journey sometimes begins the night before, when you give your body enough time to rest before getting behind the wheel. If luck also had a family plan, they surely just used it at exactly the most important few seconds of that day. When walking with young children near a major road, a firm grip on their hand is sometimes the most important layer of protection against unexpected situations. Do not wait for an incident to come knocking before inspecting a structure. Eyes on the road and a focused mind behind the wheel are the two most important navigation systems for getting you where you need to go. Something weighing only a few pounds on a balcony can become a completely different hazard when it falls from dozens of floors above. This barber has surely just entered his name into the quick reflex competition. After heavy rain, riverbank soil becomes heavier as it absorbs water and may also have its base eroded away. When the balance is disrupted, a large section of the bank can collapse very quickly. Faced with raging floodwaters, people sometimes can only stand silently and watch the property they spent years building being swept away by the water. Has the place where you live ever experienced a severe flash flood like this? Fishing in the rain may sound interesting, but when thunder appears, it is time to pack up the fishing rod and quickly find a safe place to take shelter. Fortunately, Mother Nature seems to have only brushed past lightly, this time enough to create a surprise but not turn the moment into a major incident. When dark clouds begin to cover the sky, it is best to find shelter before Mother Nature decides to come any closer. It seems this guest did not want to waste time looking for the entrance, so he created his own way in along with the repair costs. Take your vehicle in for regular inspections before a tire suddenly decides to leave the group and begin a journey of its own. I always wonder what makes some drivers still decide to overtake recklessly, even though they know clearly that just one wrong judgment can lead to danger. Obstructed visibility is always one of the factors that can easily lead to collisions because you cannot react early to something you have not yet had a chance to see. The destination will not disappear if you are a few minutes late. Controlling your speed is what gives you enough distance, visibility, and time to react on the road. Glass usually does not break simply because of an impact, but because the force has exceeded its load-bearing limit, causing cracks to spread across the entire surface in an instant. Do not give those pictures a chance to leave the wall. Make sure they are always securely fastened. If Mother Nature needed someone to repossess property, floodwaters would certainly top the list with an efficiency no one would want to witness firsthand. No matter the circumstances, nature always knows how to remind us that it is the one in control of the game. Slowing down is how you give yourself more time before making a decision. I am really wondering how this driver managed to get a driver's license after that confusing maneuver. He did not buy a front row ticket, but this collision came to him and gave him a viewing angle that surely no one would ever want. Newton would surely understand what is happening, but perhaps even he would not want to stand nearby to verify his laws. If it were you, how would you feel after going through an unexpected situation like this? There are moments that make people realize just how valuable a few seconds can sometimes be, and this guy just had a perfect example. Sometimes luck also knows exactly whose side to take, and this time the little friends were clearly given priority. Surely what the car owners are hoping for most right now is that when the water recedes, their cars will still be standing exactly where they were. Just about 12 inches of fast-moving water can sweep a small car off the road. With flash floods, a difference of just a few inches can sometimes completely change the situation. Flood waters sometimes resemble a guest walking slowly towards you, but that does not mean you should move closer to shake hands and say hello. Faced with fast-moving floodwaters, even a car weighing thousands of pounds can become as small as a toy being swept away by the water. Surely these men never expected that they would have to take part in a sprint race in such an involuntary way. Mother Nature seems to always enjoy increasing the difficulty of every drive by making the road ahead wet and slippery. Before towing a trailer, checking the coupling, lock, and connection points is a necessary step to ensure the load stays with you until the end of the journey. Do you often slam on the brakes when facing unexpected situations like this? A pressure cooker works by keeping steam under high pressure. If the steam outlet becomes blocked, the buildup of pressure can turn a kitchen appliance into a major hazard. A truck overturned on a highway outside Garden City, Kansas, as a storm system brought strong winds to Midwestern states on March 4th.
Everybody built this place. We didn't get it by them. Hope it doesn't hit the well.
Do not wait for strong winds to decide which branches need to be cut. Inspecting and dealing with trees early is always the more proactive choice.
I just got that on film!
There it goes.
My car!
It seems the mattresses chose the wrong delivery service because this trip needed no driver, yet the speed was still surprising. No matter how advanced human technology becomes, nature always has a way of reminding us that it is still the final boss on this planet.
I'm just behind a truck, parked.
Then you count exactly how many sea lions are in this frame.
Lola! Wait, you're too close!
Some encounters make a trip memorable, but I am sure this couple would not want to add
Lola!
a second one to their collection.
What are we gonna do? We gotta get off the trail!
A flight may end differently than expected, but emergency procedures exist precisely. So situations like this can be kept under control.
You okay? No, he's not.
For the fire truck. Watch out for the fire truck.
Even machines created to conquer the sky sometimes have to go through harsh tests from Mother Nature. If you were sitting by the window and saw sparks like these, would you stay calm or immediately look for a flight attendant? I think this is one of those rare times when the buffalo happily gave way without anyone having to explain the traffic rules. A driver in California became trapped in a dust storm in Imperial County on October 6th. Roots are always the final anchor that helps a tree stand firm against storm winds, quietly holding the entire trunk while everything above is under the greatest pressure. A powerful storm nearly collapsed the plastic patio canopy of a sushi restaurant in Guadalajara, Mexico, on July 16. The trampoline in Florida found a way to take off beyond its design, but unfortunately this flight was entirely sponsored by the storm.
Oh my god! Hey, Mike, look at your line.
Earthquakes do not send appointments, so those seemingly boring minutes of evacuation drills can sometimes become the most valuable knowledge. A powerful 5.7 magnitude earthquake near Salt Lake City, Utah, early Wednesday morning of March 18 threw the room into disarray.
Их этот трясет коагулятор. Смотри, он чё.
Give a heartfelt thank you to the doctors who kept their hands steady, even when the ground beneath their feet could not stay still.
Волна задвинула стульчик.
Как давай болтаться, мы его потом
А наш
сняли.
монитор тоже болтался?
Болтался, мы его...
On April 3, the moment, lightning struck a truck parked at the Greene County Highway Department in Springfield, Missouri, was captured. When Mother Nature begins to lose her temper, the smartest choice is not to stand around watching what she will do next, but to find shelter. Just one beat slower, and the story could have been very different. Railroad tracks have never been the right place to gamble with time.
自己的票，有里面的话，刚4048449啊。
I think there is no need to look far for Superman today, because this man just showed what a real-life hero looks like. Check the braking system regularly before it chooses to tell you about its condition through an unexpected incident. When panic appears behind the wheel, the accelerator and brake pedals can sometimes become a harder test of reflexes than you might think. I do not know how much horsepower this machine has, but the number of passengers it just carried is definitely the specification attracting the most attention. It seems Mother Nature decided to put aside the bright color palette today and use only 2 shades black and white to create this scene. If this is the cow's way of saying thank you, I think the woman just received a much more enthusiastic reward than expected. If this were a basketball game, nature just delivered a dunk so powerful that even the hoop officially had to leave the court. Nature sometimes creates cinematic effects without any CGI, but this is certainly a scene that should be enjoyed from very far away. Wind has no shape, but St. Louis that day had more than enough evidence to help us imagine its power. If this were a cinematic effect, I am sure even the director would need quite a budget to compete with Mother Nature. Mother Nature did not send down raindrops today, but instead, a barrage of ice bullets testing everything below. There are maintenance jobs that no one notices when they are done well until a scene like this appears. I think after today, this dog will start showing much more respect for transparent things. This image is surely enough to add a little positive energy so your day can begin in a truly cheerful mood. If friendship needs proof that appearance does not matter, I think the rhino and the goat just provided the perfect answer. If you have ever wondered why areas around fires need to be widely cordoned off, this scene in California is a very visual answer. On a scale from 1 to 10, how surprised does this scene make you? I do not think the number will be low at all.
Мне кажется, вообще 2 взрыва было, нет?
В любом случае.
Heavy rain hit Indonesia's capital, Jakarta, on Monday, December 10, damaging buildings and knocking down trees. Do not wait for Mother Nature to help you arrange the things in your yard.
Oh my God.
The way she moves them is usually anything but gentle.
Here. Stay here. Yeah, everybody's here. Oh my gosh.
Is everybody all right?
Quick reflexes saved the man in an instant when the distance between safety and an incident had come down to just 1 step. If there is one passenger who should never be invited into the car, I think it is panic behind the wheel. I think speed is the worst traveling companion because the more you trust it, the less time you have to correct a wrong decision. After this situation, perhaps the concept of standing still to stay safe in the man's mind will have to be completely rewritten. When the barrier has come down, it is not a suggestion to stop, but a safety boundary that you absolutely should not cross.
Сейчас трос лопнет. Он знает, что он делает.
Не, да пусть уйдет. Я понимаю, что знает, что делает.
I think after today, the homeowner will understand that cutting down a tree near a structure is when you should call someone with more experience rather than test your luck. If luck could be measured by distance, I think this moment in Donetsk would only need inches as the unit. This moment is the clearest proof that good observational skills can sometimes be just as valuable as a modern warning system. Wind has no shape, but just by looking at this roof, you can understand how impressive the power of something invisible can sometimes be. If the wind only intended to stop by and read a book today, I think the way it entered was definitely a little impolite. Mother Nature turned San Antonio into an endurance test today that no structure would want to sign up for. Surely after today, the shop owner will add a new service to the price list: haircuts, shaving, and handling customers coming from the forest. At Yellowstone, there is one traffic rule that needs no sign when the oldest residents want to cross the road. Everyone else simply has to wait patiently.
Gaggle in the front, you're like, oh no, we're never getting
What was impressive was when
This is just crazy. Look at these birdware.
If Birds also held an annual convention, I think this parking lot in Texas was just chosen as the host location.
This is just crazy. Look at these birds. They're like...
Winter not only brings beautiful scenery, but also brings some of the toughest tests for every driver. Before leaving the driver's seat, take 1 extra second for the parking brake, so gravity does not get the chance to decide the next parking spot. I think Mother Nature just gave the driver a real-life geology lesson, and today's topic is called a sinkhole. If the store offers drive-in shopping service, I am pretty sure this is still not the way they want customers to use it. I think after today, this driver will never leave the vehicle without checking the parking brake at least one more time.
Wow, you can see the upper part?
Floodwaters carrying earth and rocks rushed into the Grand Canyon, reminding us that even a massive natural wonder is still being rewritten by nature every day.
The upper part?
The frightening thing about floods is not only their depth. When the water begins carrying earth, rocks, and debris, its destructive power can increase very quickly. The road that day had to give way to the flash flood as nature decided to temporarily redraw the map in its own way. Tornadoes can form when wind shear creates rotation, and the updraft of a strong thunderstorm tilts and stretches the rotating area, concentrating the rotation from the thunderstorm down toward the ground. On March 19, a tornado swept through the backyard of a home in Gary, Indiana, leaving the entire yard in disarray. There are jobs where one right decision not only completes the task, but also helps many people behind you have a safer day. If Hollywood needs a snow effect for its next movie, I think the Alps just sent them a completely free demo. On a wet surface, friction decreases significantly. Sometimes just one unsteady step is enough for gravity to take control. Do you think the credit for this one should go to the overly powerful plunger, or had the brick been quietly deteriorating for some time already? If the cleanliness of a glass door were scored by the number of people who accidentally walked into it, this door would definitely have just earned a perfect score. I think after today, she will give every doorstep an extra glance before deciding to take the next step. This is why deteriorating structures need regular inspections before gravity decides the time for the inspection itself. If we had to give an MVP title to this moment, I think the protective gear would win without even needing a vote.
Look at you. Look at your leg.
If you came home and found your door like this, would you call an expert immediately or stand at a distance and wait for the bees to leave on their own? Strong winds brought severe dusty conditions to northwest Texas on Friday, June 6. If Mother Nature had a cleanup crew, I think the wind would definitely be the most enthusiastic employee, but also the one that causes the most damage. It seems this guest just discovered in the most direct way that not every visible passageway is actually open. I have always thought that spreading salt in front of the house during winter is one of the simplest and most economical ways to reduce the risk of slipping.
Oh my God.
I think these workers just went through a structural test that surely no one would want to participate in directly. Gravity never takes a break. Once a load becomes unbalanced, it will quickly show us the consequences. If there were a quick reflex competition right inside the store, I think this man just put his own name into the final round.
Ow. Is this room?
If you have ever wondered how attractive light can be to moths, I think this room just provided a pretty convincing answer.
Is this room? Ow.
If your fear of insects were rated from 1 to 10, how many points did this scene just add to that number? It seems maternal love in nature does not care whether you have 2 legs, 4 legs, or 8 legs. A mother's back is still always the safest place. It seems the driver did not encounter rush hour today, but rather a special version of rush hour created by hundreds of sheep. When nature begins moving things that humans thought would stay still, the wisest choice is to find a sturdy place to take shelter. The value of the footage lies not only in the rare scene, but also in the sufficiently safe distance between the person filming and the danger ahead. If Lady Luck also has to clock in for work today, she surely arrived a few seconds early and completed the job perfectly. When the energy travels into moist ground, the water can vaporize extremely quickly and create pressure that sends soil and rocks flying. A good pilot not only knows how to fly, but also knows when to change the plan before the situation becomes difficult to control. If this is the ocean's way of saying hello, I think most visitors would happily respond by watching from a safe distance. I think the Himalayas do not need cinematic effects because when the snow begins to move, nature itself creates a scene impressive enough to leave you in awe.
So we should do like...
Behind those seemingly funny shakes is a special reproductive instinct that helps millions of eggs begin their journey in the ocean. It is hard to believe that every tiny creature before our eyes has just begun a journey of survival that nature has maintained through countless generations. From strong winds to flash floods, every phenomenon carries a lesson about preparedness and respect for nature. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share it with everyone.